Dear Evan Hansen is coming back to Chicago December 6th through December 31st. Perfect plans for New Year's Eve. The story shows us what happens when a made up story takes a life of its own. Coleen Sexton here plays Evan's mom, Heidi. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
I love that the company's in town almost through the whole month of December, so that plenty of chance for people to go ahead and see it.
Oh, yes, yes, definitely. We're there for a full 4 weeks, 8 shows a week. Very excited to be there for the holiday season. I've never been in, I love Chicago, first of all. I'm so excited to get back there. But I've never been during December. I've never been during Christmas. So I'm really excited to see all the decorations, and I hear it's beautiful.
Well,
So
you'll have the Chris Kindle Market right outside, so a lot of people go out and visit there right beforehand. The Mag Mile will have all the lights out there. There'll be plenty
yep.
of shopping, so it's going to be very festive. It's going to be a wonderful time for you to be
So
here.
so excited. So excited. And I'm
And
bringing
another fun.
I gotta make sure to bring my warm winter coat.
Exactly. It's starting to snow a little bit now, so the weather's kind of getting into those winter months. So definitely don't want to forget your coat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do want to talk about Evan Hansen. Anthony Norman. He's actually from Chicago.
Yes, he is. And he's so excited to get back there. And he's a diehard Bulls fan. Like, oh my gosh, when he comes backstage, he has his Bulls slippers before he gets onto the stage. Yeah, and he's really looking forward to getting back and obviously having family and friends to come see him.
Talk a little bit about the dynamic between Heidi and Evan, and how the
Yeah.
two of you prepared for the dynamic in the show.
Yeah, we got to work together with Michael Greif right before we started rehearsals. I've been with the show for since the beginning, since the tour opened in 2018, and I was covering both Heidi and Cynthia, and now I'm playing Heidi. And when I started playing Heidi is when Anthony came in, so we get to work together in our scene work. And yeah, we always have our before show ritual that we all take up. We breathe together, we take 3 big breaths all together, and we always give each other a big old hug. Like after I do the first song in the show, I'll go off stage and we have like we always have our before show hug. um yeah, the Heidi and Evan, Evan is, your typical teenage kid trying to fit in, a little socially awkward, and has it's that teenage relationship with the mom, and the mom's trying to make everything, single mom, hardworking mom, trying to make it work, working a job during the day and going to class at night to provide for her son. But there's a lot of conflict there because she's not home a lot. But she's trying her best. She's there. And the first song in the show is, does anybody have a map? And it's basically like, can anyone, give me a map to tell me how to do this, how to be a parent to a teenage kid that's all into social media. And but yeah, and I'm enjoying very much doing the show with Anthony every night. He's wonderful.
What have you learned as far as maybe when there are those stage door experiences, pre-COVID, or people who might happen to to catch you in town, or just some of those conversations as far as about parenthood? Because obviously you said she's a single mom, she's working, she's trying to go to school, she's in her mind she's trying to do the best for
Yeah.
herself to give him a better life, but he might be seeking some love, some attention, some friendship, and
Yeah.
that's a tough balance.
Yeah, well, that's the show is all about connection. I mean, that's at the heart of Dear Evan Hansen. It's all about wanting to be heard, wanting to be seen for who you are. And they get there, they have their struggles and their fights, but she just wants him to open up to her. And kids, they have a hard time being honest with their parents. And it's the thing is that every person that comes to see the show can relate to one of the characters on stage. It is so relatable. It is so real. It is written so brilliantly by Stephen Levinson, and the music by Justin Paul and Benj Pasek. I mean, you can't beat the music. But yeah, it's just a wonderfully written show, and we're just very happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, the music is wonderful. I mean, even on my running playlist, "Sincerely Me," that's always that song is
Yeah.
always finds its way in
And
there.
that's our comedy. That's our, we need to have some comedy in the show because it is a heavy, very emotional piece. So we have some, comic, but people at the stage door, we right now, because of COVID, we're not doing stage door meetings. But it's definitely, every once in a while when you meet somebody that they come up to you and they're just like, I relate to your character so much. And because it's, again, there's many single women mothers out there. There's divorced parents that are struggling, a family that's had a kids commit suicide. Just it's very relatable.
Too is that I've heard some of my friends also talk about going with it with their kids, because obviously they're like, they want, teens, and you want to go with your friends, and maybe you drop them off, but going there, and that kind of opens up that conversation of like,
100%.
yeah.
I think that, and this is something I would put out there, I think all families that have kids of the right appropriate age, I think that the age, I mean, I've seen younger kids come and they enjoy it, and it's kind of at the parents' discretion. But any families that have preteen, teen children, college kids, it is so important. I think it's such an important show. It's not like your average, fun. There's a message behind it, and for all families with kids, I think it's a wonderful show to see, because again, it's relatable. There's situations that everybody can understand. Every single audience member will understand and relate to it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, sometimes you have those things that you think about it in your head, or sometimes you may tell somebody, something, let's just say 15 years ago before social media, and just that person might have told one or two other people, or it may not have like the lasting power because of social media. And then that thing just travels and ends up taking a life of
Yeah.
its own.
Yeah, well, that's another reason for the connection that you need, is the social media. Like, everyone gets lost in there, and messages can get out there and that you don't want, or you see things that you don't have, and it gets you sad, or like social media has changed everything. But there are good parts too. There's good and there's bad parts of social media, in my opinion. But yeah.
Just like there's a good and bad parts of Chicago in the winter. It's cold, but
Yeah.
you get to see wonderful theater.
Of course.
Yeah, we're so excited to have the company here for 4 weeks starting December 6th and all the way here to December 31st. There's an 8 o'clock show. So if you want to go ahead and finish off 2022, with one of your favorite musicals, I mean, better get those tickets now.
Yeah, please do. Please come see our show. It has a wonderful message for everybody, and you're gonna go out, you're gonna leave the theater singing one of the songs, because the songs are amazing.
The songs are amazing. Nederlander Theater, BroadwayInChicago.com to go ahead and get those tickets. And thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Can't wait to get there.
See you soon.